Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of C&C Reviews. This is our second week on YouTube, and if you don't know, and if this is your first time listening, basically we're here, we talk about the wrestling, the movies, the shows, the games, whatever the fuck we want to talk about, lots of random shit. There's so many subjects we could end up talking about, and today we have those subjects as well. So, like I said, tons of shit, just lots of stuff. And then, basically, of course, I'm Caleb Johnston. I'm your host. My normal co-host Cameron is still on break, which he has been for a few weeks. And I am joined here by my interim guest host, and guy who's usually on the show anyway, and that is Jamie. Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you know what? You sound very monotone. I mean, like, you sound like those guys that are on, like, a jazz station, like, late at night, like, alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for, we're play the night away with some smooth jazz.
First up, we've got Rocket Man by Elton John.
Later on, we're gonna, Yeah. Something.
Well, I don't know. I just felt like entering it with a monotone voice. I thought that would be the best decision.
You sound, that's
it's hashtag what's best for business. Inside joke. It's just, so you've been up to anything interesting lately before we get started? Anything cool going on?
I got really nothing. I mean, just we're on the road to WrestleMania, and nothing is more exciting around, this.
Yeah, road to WrestleMania is finally building up, like 9 weeks into the road to WrestleMania. Yeah, I haven't been up to much, Our season 4 of Archer got up on Netflix, so I got caught up on that. And, other than that, I haven't had much going on.
Oh, and in other news, I still haven't caught up on my shows. How I Met Your Mother and Criminal Minds.
It makes me feel better. I still haven't watched last night's How I Met Your Mother.
I haven't watched them. I haven't watched either of those shows since they came back from Christmas break or whatever.
You're like 10 episodes behind now. And in 2 weeks we're finally going to get to the wedding.
If there's someone out there that can hook me up with like a link to watching Criminal Minds and How I Met Your Mother, tell me, because I will sit here and I will watch them. I will binge watch them. I really will, because I want to catch up. I haven't been able to catch up. Okay, I'm really slow, so I need to get on this.
Yeah, definitely. Being behind on a show is never fun. I've only watched. I haven't watched Last Night Bates Motel, and I won't be able to watch any of my shows from last night now until tomorrow. And then I can't watch any. Like I can't watch Tosh or Justified tonight. But
oh, you can't watch. Oh, you can't watch Tosh. That's.
Hey, it's not that bad.
That's too bad. I hear that you can catch like a 4-minute version of it on YouTube on like some guy's channel, I think. Yeah. Oh God, what's his name? Ray.
Oh yeah, it is true. But isn't that like ending tomorrow?
This is, you know what, that is also true. And you know what, how about we get to kick things off with that, just like a subtle mention here, of course, Equals 3, one of the biggest YouTube series there is. And, of course, people, whether you like the guy or hate the guy, it's an extremely popular series. It's coming to an end this week.
I prefer his podcast, which both of us religiously listen to. And then, I love Riley Rewind. I thought that was great. And like I said, I'm looking forward to his FX series. Like, he's got so much other stuff going on besides Equals 3 that he needs to be doing.
He is going to become a big deal in the TV game or movie game or whatever genre that not really genre, but like whatever kind of entertainment that like he wants to do, like, be TV, movie, podcast, radio, whatever. He is going to be a big deal.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, like, the sky's the limit for him. And I can understand why he's done with Equals 3, because I think on one of his podcasts, whenever he announced that this is going to be the last year he does it, he even said, like, I'm going to turn 33 this year. Equals 3 is going to be a little immature to do.
Yeah, it's, I think it's become really stale over the past year or so. I mean, like, I remember when he started breaking up the shows into, like, five 5 times each week, and they were all like a minute to 2 minutes.
People hated that.
That, I thought, okay, yeah, that really wasn't the best idea, I think at least. I remember when he was paired up with that studio there, which apparently they were complete assholes to him, around, like, the tail end of it, but yeah, I really think it's gotten, I mean, it's not really fresh anymore, but, like, again, he's going to have so much to fall back on, and, like, the podcast. Whenever Runaway Thoughts is posted on YouTube, I immediately tweet about it. It's become, like, a new, like, habit for me.
Yeah,
like,
it's really great. And plus, if you tweet a picture of it, it will become his banner on Facebook, and, like, 130 people will favorite it.
Oh, my God. Yes. I tweeted, for those people that don't know, I tweeted a picture of, I was watching the video version of his podcast on YouTube on my TV, which I was playing it through my Xbox. Excuse me. And I remember I snapped a picture of it, and I tweeted it to Ray and Anna, and I thought, okay, this is just something to tweet. If he sees it, that's great. If he doesn't, that's fine too. Then he retweets it. To this day, I'm still getting favorites on it. I posted that thing 2 weeks ago, and I'm still getting favorites on it. It's crazy. And like 5 minutes after I noticed that he retweets it, I noticed on his Facebook page, his cover photo, which is basically like Facebook's version of a header on Twitter. His cover photo is the same picture I took that I mentioned him in. So I thought that was really cool. It was, I mean, I flipped out when I saw it because really I'm a huge supporter of him. So once I saw that, it's like, holy shit, I got recognized.
Yeah, it was a really cool deal, and like I said, I thought it was pretty great. I don't know. I was going to, he follows me, so I was thinking about DMing him and saying, yeah, good luck with everything, but I haven't yet. So I don't know. I might tweet him.
I can't even imagine the DMs that he gets every day, because he's following over, 500,000 accounts by now? He's getting there, at least, or... So I could not deal with that. I mean, I could barely handle following 170.
Yeah, I only follow 149 people.
So, anyways, Equals 3 is done this week. I believe it's done Wednesday. We're recording this on Tuesday, March 11th. So his final one will be up tomorrow, March 12th. So, I mean, if you've seen it, let us know what you thought. I mean, what, I imagine it'll be maybe a little bit of an, I guess you could consider it would be a bit of an emotional thing, because,
yeah, exactly.
It was like a launching pad for him.
Anyway, I guess we should probably dive into the actual show and dive into the movie reviews. So anyway, if you're listening to this for the first time, and because I guess I have to say this now that we're on YouTube, so I'm gonna, always say it, whatever. If you're listening to this for the first time because you can't watch us, see, I just saved myself there. But basically, the whole deal is we don't review current movies because, I know, whatever, but simply because of the fact that, he's in Canada, I'm in Oklahoma, so it's one of those difficult things where we cannot, go see, and we can't go and pay money, and it just depends, stupid shit like that. So basically, we just use Netflix and review old movies.
I ain't going to a movie by myself. What? That's just weird. I said I ain't going to a movie.
Yeah, that would be weird. Don't go to movies by yourself.
Unless if that's your thing. And,
I don't care if it's your thing. Don't go to movies by yourself. That's fucking weird.
Go on then, but
nonetheless, first movie we have, one of two, and let's start with the actual good movie we're reviewing this week, and that is Pulp Fiction. Now, Pulp Fiction, this plot is really difficult to explain. Best way I can explain it is Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta. They work for this crime boss. His name is Marcellus Wallace. I don't know the dude who plays him. And basically, they have to get this briefcase with something gold in it. That's never really explained what's in it, but still pretty fucking cool and mysterious and whatnot. And John Travolta, after that, it's a confusing plot, and I don't know if I can just explain one thing. But then Bruce Willis is like a former boxer who didn't throw a fight, and then him and his annoying Asian girlfriend sidekick person, they're like, oh, we gotta go, and then Uma Thurman overdosing and raping a large black man. There's a lot in this movie, and basically, I don't know how I can exactly explain this plot completely, but. James, what are your opening thoughts on Pulp Fiction?
I thought it was great. I mean, it's just one of those, I guess you could say, time-age classics. I don't know if I even use that term properly, if that's even a real term. I don't know. I'm just making up words now. But, it's definitely a classic. And, a lot of people, when you think about Travolta and Jackson, exactly. You think of Pulp Fiction. Because, overall, I thought that it was really good, and just one thing that really caught my attention is that Jane from Breaking Bad, you can really tell that Vince, I forget his last name, but Vince, the guy who made Breaking Bad, you can definitely tell he got the idea of the character Jane, yes. Spoiler alert, sorry if you haven't seen it, but the character Jane, he got the idea of the character Jane from the woman in Pulp Fiction. I mean, it's just so obvious that he did. Because
they really do. They look. There are so many similarities between them.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that this is definitive. Jane the idea of Jane is from this woman in this movie. I don't know if that's the truth.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this before we started recording, that there are so many similarities. The hairstyle, not necessarily, but their hair does look similar, in color, and just, I don't know what the word is.
Hair, yes. Facial expressions, their overall... I guess you could say their attitude a bit. But, so definitely I can tell that, Jane is, I guess you could call her the offspring.
So, the bee in Apartment 23 is the offspring of fucking Uma Thurman?
Yes. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
you go ahead.
So overall, I thought the movie was really good. Now, my minor complaints, Samuel L. Jackson could have been in it a little bit more, I thought. And I had another complaint, but I can't remember.
Oh, it was about Travolta, exactly I believe.
But yeah, I thought that Travolta kind of came off like a wimp a little bit.
I don't like Travolta in general, so I always see him as that. But this is one of the better movies I've seen him in.
Yeah. So overall, I thought that this movie was really good. It's a classic. It's on Netflix.
Yep.
Go watch it. It's 2.5 hours, I think. So yeah.
Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies ever. It's just, everything about it is so great. From the opening dialogue, the iconic scenes in it, like the adrenaline shot scene when Uma Thurman ODs, or the, whole, say what more goddamn time, motherfucker. They're just such iconic scenes, and they're so fantastic and well played. Samuel L. Jackson's my second favorite actor of all time. I hate John Travolta. I fucking do not like John Travolta. Anyone who knows me knows that I cannot stand John Travolta. But I really liked him in this movie. Uma Thurman, I love Uma Thurman. She's great, and I thought she was fantastic. As long as Uma Thurman isn't trying to be a Batman villain, I love her. She's fantastic. She was great in this movie. I can't name a single person that wasn't great in this movie. I've done table readings of this movie because a friend of mine owns the screenplay of it. Not the original cut or anything, but a copied version. It's really, like I said, and for some reason I was able to play Samuel L. Jackson's character better than anyone else, so what does that tell you? It was just fantastic. Like I said, this movie, they're so in-depth. I don't like Bruce Willis. It's one of the things that this actor features this movie features two actors I don't like, and that's Bruce Willis and John Travolta. I like them both in this movie. I don't know what to tell you. This movie was able to make actors I don't like good. Christopher Walken was in this movie, and that iconic scene. I held this watch up my ass for 10, or how long was it? Like 5 years, 2 years, some shit like that.
I think.
Oh, but it was so fantastic. It's always great to see Christopher Walken doing anything. And this movie was so in-depth, and the movie doesn't take place in order at all. Like, it's like, if you look at, like, Travolta and Jackson's storyline, it starts at, like, it's weird the way how Travolta is able to die in the middle of the movie, but it's not in oh, fuck, yeah, spoiler shit. Okay, there's no way you couldn't have seen Pulp Fiction. It's, like, 20 years old this year, I believe. Maybe 19 years old. Maybe 18, between 18 and 20 years old. So it's just one of those things where, like, and then at the very end, though, because they showed, the way this movie was made blows my mind, because it was in such a great order. Tarantino is my favorite director of all time. And I love so much stuff he's done. And Pulp Fiction was just such an incredible, incredible film. It was just a masterpiece. It was a classic. It's one of the most iconic films of all time. And it is the movie, Reservoir Dogs may have been the first movie he did that made people, know who he was, but Pulp Fiction is the movie that completely kick-started and just made Tarantino, like, a name everyone, like, they made Tarantino a household name. Reservoir Dogs was the platform to move him up, and then Pulp Fiction is what made him Tarantino. And he's one of the most respected directors in the business today, and he's one of the best directors in the business today. Tarantino is just great. Tarantino is a fantastic, fantastic director, and everything about this movie screams Tarantino, and everything about this movie is just fantastic. Just everything, like I said, just all of it. The acting is incredible. The story is incredible, except for the Asian sidekick girlfriend person who, all about pressure. Other than her, I have no... Okay, was that racist? Was that racist to say that?
Well, if someone
yeah,
tells
okay, I wasn't meaning to be racist, but whatever. I didn't dislike her because she was Asian. I disliked her because she was annoying. I didn't think her and Bruce Willis mixed well together. But it was just, like I said, it was great. Overall, it was just a great film. Yeah. That's basically is a great film. I recommend you watch it. I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
I would go and give it an 8. I mean, like, it really takes a lot for me to give it, to give movies like a full 10. But I would probably.
Is it? It's such a good movie. Like, I don't know anyone that doesn't like this movie.
Yes, and it's also a movie that doesn't need a sequel. On
look at that review. Segue. Yeah, I like that segue. If Pulp Fiction had a sequel, it would make no goddamn sense. Yeah. Oh my god! Now this is the next.
No, it wouldn't. just like this one doesn't make any sense.
Shit, fucking pile of shit. And hey, if you care, we're not gonna. I don't care. There's nothing in this movie that could possibly be a spoiler. So whatever. I don't even care. So we're not. You shouldn't care if we spoil this movie for you. It's like almost 30 years old. Ghostbusters 2. Last week, me and Jamie, who had never seen Ghostbusters before, we watched and reviewed it, and we fucking loved it. I thought it was great. We both gave it like an 8. It was ahead of its time. It wasn't too cartoonish. There was some stuff I was like, but for the most part, it was fantastic. And then there's Ghostbusters 2. Despite being not only set 5 years later, but actually came out 5 years later, somehow, some way, this movie is more cartoonish than the 1984 film, and it is just shit. There's so much shit about this movie. Jamie, I don't even think you finished this movie. It was so terrible.
I didn't want to finish it. It was just like, why? I mean, it's like, I make the weirdest comparisons, but, I mean, like, this is the only thing I could think of, so, I mean, go ahead and make fun of me, but it's kind of like having all the money in the world. You go into a new car lot, you see all these fancy new cars, and then you see this rusted-up old one that looks like it belongs in the junkyard, and you get this car, because you have hopes for it, and say, you know what, it might work. It'll do it. It'll do the job. And it doesn't do anything. Like, that's like the only comparison I could make. Probably makes no sense, but whatever. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I didn't like it.
No, this movie was so bad.
I mean, I really do not have... I really do not have much
I have
to say
nothing to
about
say about it. Like, it's like, well, okay, obviously I have a lot to say about it, because I even ranted about this to a friend yesterday, where I was so excited about this movie. Like, I loved Ghostbusters. I thought it was great, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to check this movie out, and I'm really looking forward to it. The tone, right off the bat, I loved, and I think I even told you this either last night or earlier today, was this movie had everything going for it at first. The setup was great. They had gone out of business, and they were fucked up, there was and it's like, oh, our business, no one, cares that we saved New York 5 years ago. No one cares about us. Kids don't even like us, It's just great. I love that setup so much. And I think this movie was great until actual ghosts got involved. This movie was great until the courtroom scene.
Yes.
What the fuck was with that? No, all of the ghosts in the first one actually looked like, it was in 1984, and they didn't look like other shit, but then all the ghosts in this one look like cartoons. What the fuck was that? God, it pissed me off. There's so much I have wrong with it. There's a number of complaints I have. One, why did they drive... Jamie, when did you stop watching? Because did you get to the part where they were driving the Statue of Liberty? Oh, God, it was awful.
I don't think I even got to that part. I forget what part I stopped at. maybe like 30 minutes
Oh, my God. Okay, look at everything about this movie was terrible.
But yeah, okay. The best way I can describe it was that they took a step backward. It's like with Ghostbusters 1, the first one, the original. They took 2 steps forward, and it's like with Ghostbusters 2, they just sat right back in.
Yeah, they really did. It was just like, okay, basically, there's so much wrong with this movie. Like, the plot made no sense. I don't understand what the main villain was about. I don't understand why he needed to possess a baby. I don't understand why this French dude wanted to fuck Sigourney Weaver and was creepy about it. I understand why he wanted to fuck Sigourney Weaver. I don't understand why he was creepy about it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Sigourney Weaver, but it's just, he was way too... And plus, we'd already established that creepy weird guys are attracted to Sigourney Weaver in the first one. They brought so many elements back. Look at the second one. The main ghost is some sort of, like, powerful mythical being. They take control over a human, which we've already established is apparently a thing in the Ghostbusters mythos. Sigourney Weaver is, for some reason, being creepily talked to by some creepy guy. There's so much wrong with this fucking goddamn movie. Why were they driving the Statue of Liberty? What was the point? They could have easily stolen a government helicopter or some shit like that. They could have bought a helicopter somehow, and they could have crashed through the top of the museum. There was no need to drive and possess the Statue of Liberty and walk around and smash through. There was no point. Why did this weird, creepy, 5,000-year-old ghost man, why did he need to possess it? Why, out of all the babies, why did it have to be Sigourney Weaver's? Explain to me the point and why it was Sigourney Weaver's baby. Why did he just say, oh man, that chick from Alien, I want her fucking baby? It made no goddamn sense. What the fuck? Why the fuck, whenever they finally started being big again and caring, why did they change the logo? I can understand the movie poster having the ghost doing the 2 thing. It's funny. It's cute. Why in the utterless fuck would you ever, in Christ's name, why would they change the fucking logo on their suits and on the side of the building? Why would they change it to the ghost doing 2? What, are they aware of the fact they're in a movie? Are they saying, oh, this is our second run? Keep the normal fucking Ghostbusters logo. It makes no sense why it would be a 2. It makes it like, oh, there are 2 Ghostbusters. No, there are fucking 4, and by the end of the movie there are 5 because that creepy weird dude from the first one is now a Ghostbuster. It makes no goddamn sense. None of this movie makes sense. Why in the first one would you tease Egon getting with that one glasses secretary chick and then put her with the creepy guy from the first one in this one? Everything about this movie is horrible. At the beginning of the movie, they teased Bill Murray being the father of Sigourney Weaver's baby. They never brought it back up. I don't know what the fuck was the point of bringing it up in the first place because they never went with that storyline at all. Why? They, alluded to it, and then they never brought it up. And then at the end, why is there a giant painting that shows all 4 fucking Ghostbusters naked and with leaves covering their dicks in front of a baby? What? Does that mean there was some ancient prophecy saying, oh, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd and a black guy whose actors, I can't remember his name, and, oh, they're going to say Sigourney Weaver's baby. When the fuck was this ever a prophecy? What, did Jesus write in the Bible? Like, oh, hey, man, Ghostbusters, you got to fucking save this baby from an antagonist that makes no goddamn sense. There's so much wrong with this movie. This movie was fucking awful. Everything about it was shit, besides the fucking first one. Fuck! This movie was awful!
See, people, this is why I let Caleb talk. Because he basically disputed everything.
I had way too many issues. This movie, I should not have this many issues with the movie. Oh, and here's another thing. What was the point of the slime underneath the city? What did that have to do with anything? What was the point? It had nothing to do with the antagonist. It was so fucking stupid. Everything about this movie was fucking stupid. I'm all for them making a Ghostbusters 3, but do not make these same mistakes. And Harold Ramis isn't going to be in it because he's dead, so that would be awful. Don't make a Ghostbusters 3. Just don't. Don't do it. Okay? But if you do, learn your mistakes from the second one, because the second one was a fucking piece of shit, and I gave it a 3 out of 10. It was awful. I'm not even going to give it a Bret Hart. I don't care enough to give it a Bret Hart.
Yeah, I didn't even finish the movie, so I don't think I can...
Or just give it a 2 Ghostbusters logo, 2 fingers down, because this movie was terrible, and what I just said made no sense. Fuck, there's so much wrong with this goddamn movie. And I'm out of breath. Fuck, I ranted about that shit because there were so many problems with this movie.
You were basically like you know what? I can't even think what you acted like right there, but that was just, I mean, you went off there for like, you know what?
Oh god, I had to shoot off on this movie. It was so fucking bad. Okay, no more movie reviews tonight. We are done with the movie reviews, so we're now moving on to movie news. And movie news, we don't have very much. And I have 4 stories here, but last night I had my rough draft down. I took out 2 stories.
Just to let you know, people. I know nothing about these movie news. Like like before.
I always just say movie news to you.
I have no idea. So, yeah. So basically, we're going off of, I guess, live reaction. I guess you could call that.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so first bit of movie news we have is Marvel movie news, which we get news on Marvel almost every week, and basically.
Marvel.
And one little story is basically this is not something we need comments about, but I actually took this out of the fucking story. Whatever. Apparently, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is going to impact Avengers 2 directly. I have no idea what that means, but there's that. And then other Captain America news is Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, and Scarlett Johansson, who plays Black Widow, might not be returning after Avengers 2. Because Scarlett Johansson is pregnant right now, and you can't really tell, I was not aware she was in a relationship. She might be married for all I know, and it's probably this big story I just never heard about. But it's just one of those, and then Chris Evans is saying he wants to retire from acting after Avengers 2 and, become a director, what I don't understand why. I mean, Chris Evans is the king of comic book movies. From Fantastic Four, Avengers, Captain America, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The Losers. He's been in so much. I don't know what the fuck is Chris Evans' thought process. Especially since Captain America, even though I don't like the character, he's like the focal point of the Avengers. I don't get how they... Okay, unless they use the comic book storyline from Civil War where they actually change who Captain America is, then I could see that happening. Which, I'm not going to spoil that storyline for anyone who, because it could be, based on the Winter Soldier, it could happen easily in Winter Soldier or Avengers, well, in Avengers 2, just based on what I've seen from Winter Soldier, so I'm not going to spoil that storyline at all for anyone who doesn't, has never read the comics or isn't aware of it, what happens. And how they switch it, but it could happen. I could definitely see that happen. And Black Widow, as much as I like her, as much as I start with her, she's a character who I can definitely easily see them taking off. And Jamie, what is your take on this?
You see, I mean, again, I've never been an avid superhero movie watcher, but that's the thing about it. If you're willing to make a huge, series about it, make sure that the actors and the actresses are secured, or else something is going to happen where the guy who is one of the focal points of the movie may not be there for the second one or the third one or the fourth one or however long it goes for. So yeah. I really don't know who they could get.
See, I know who they could get, but if I said who, it would spoil everything about comic book storylines, and if this actually happened, people would be pissed at me for spoiling it for them.
Yeah, so probably it would probably be best to just keep that quiet, but anyways. I mean, it's not going to, affect me all that much because, I saw the first Avengers movie, and I liked it. I will more than likely see the second one. Now, as for, Evans and Johansson leaving. I mean, again, it doesn't really affect me all that much, but, it's definitely not, it definitely will not be.
Yeah, it would take a big, maybe not as much with Johansson, but Evans leaving, that does take kind of a big gap out of it.
Oh, yeah, because, you're going to have to, that's a gap that's going to have to be filled, and if this person that, you're thinking of is going to be, the right guy to suit it, then
I guarantee you that's the storyline. Hopefully they use that storyline, because I would actually like to see that happen. So I won't spoil anything until after Avengers 2 happens. So in a year and a half, I will explain. And if you really want to know or whatever, then feel free to look it up. Just look up the Civil War storyline with Marvel, and it will. Look up the Captain America character, and you can look at the progress, and it should say who the new Captain America is. And if you put the pieces together, you know exactly who I'm talking about, and you understand why it would work. So, all I'm going to say is this. Who the new Captain America would be has been in the movies already. I'm not going to say which movie he's been in, but he's been in one of the movies. He's not one of the Avengers already. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't want to know who I'm talking about, then I'm not going to say anything, but if you really do, then I would look it up, because it actually is pretty interesting. Oh, well, like I said, I think that, I love Ben. I don't love Ben Affleck, but I'm one of in the minority of people who thought Daredevil was a film. So I think I think Ben Affleck could be okay as Batman. I don't know. There was way bigger problems with Batman, Superman than just Ben Affleck playing Batman. As much as I would have loved to see Christian Bale, who knows? But nonetheless, people, like I said, this choice with who would play Captain America afterwards, if it goes right in with my thought process on it, it would work much better than Ben Affleck playing Batman. I'm just saying. From what I've gathered from the information I've seen and been given, that's just all I can gather. And then the other movie news, moving on, if we can transform this movie news. Okay, that was lame. That was a lame segue. So they actually finally released a trailer. Ow, fucking goddamn, I just stubbed my toe. Jesus Christ. I should sit down when I record.
Well, good job. Yeah, maybe that might be a good idea, because then, you won't have to risk getting injured live on the air. Really on the air.
But basically, Transformers: Age of Extinction was the fourth Transformers movie. We've finally seen a trailer, explain the plot a little bit, and basically the whole storyline here is... Now, Jamie, have you seen the first three, or any of them? Transformers.
Which series, sorry, again? Transformers. I'm in the very small minority.
You know what? You're in the good minority then, because I've seen all of them, and as a fan growing up watching it, I am utterly disappointed by them. Basically, the whole story... Okay, so I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. I've never really had a...
Do you want to hear Shia LaBeouf stutter? No, for 2.5 hours for 3 movies? Then yeah, go ahead and see them. Basically, with this whole movie, the thing with it is the story basically is Mark Wahlberg and his daughter, who he's obviously going off set. Basically, the whole deal is he apparently fixes cars, and his daughter's like, "You need to do other things besides fix cars." He's like, "Shut up, bitch." Well, he doesn't really say it, but I imagine that Mark Wahlberg would. And basically, they go and they find this truck, which, thank God, they are finally doing Optimus Prime right by having it be the 1980s cartoon, the exact style of it, so it looks exactly like the 1980s cartoon truck, which is awesome. And basically the whole thing is, he's like, "Oh, we found a Transformer," which they've never said the word Transformer in the movie, so suddenly it's basically the story of the government's like, "You need to give us Optimus Prime." Optimus is like, "Fuck you, bitch." And that whole thing happens. Basically the government's just like, "We don't like Transformers anymore." And for some reason there's Dinobots, which, okay, that's awesome, but it's just one of those things I hate so much is, this movie's probably going to be terrible. I hate Michael Bay. He's made one good movie I love, and that's Pain Gang. And it's just one of those things where the first Transformers movie was great. I actually thought it was a solid film. Revenge of the Fallen was awful. The Dark of the Moon was something. It was something. That's all I'm going to say about that one. And then, like I said, this fourth one, the thing I hate is I'm excited for this movie, and I feel terrible about that, because this movie is going to be a piece of shit, and stop playing with my emotions, Michael Bay. You make these trailers for movies that look great, and then you destroy my childhood. And Michael Bay, if you're listening to this, I don't know why the fuck Michael Bay would be listening to this, but Michael Bay, my message to you is this: I will not see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Fuck you. And I'm probably going to see this movie, and you're going to fuck me in the ass like you always have, Michael Bay. So it's just one of those things. Dinobots, for Christ's sake, Dinobots are going to be in this movie. My inner child is squealing, much like a pig. And it's just one of those things, well, fuck! Like, I really, really, really am I hate that I'm looking forward to this movie. And it's all your fault, Michael Bay, for making good trailers. And if this movie isn't good, I'm going to be very pissed off with Michael Bay again, because this will be the third Transformers movie in a row that's utterly disappointed me. And, like, the first one didn't disappoint me. I just thought it was, like, it could have been better. And, oh, God, the last two were disappointments. And, I mean, now I'm looking forward to this fourth one, and it's probably going to be a piece of shit. Ugh. Jamie, I'm glad that you don't have the desire to see this movie.
No, I don't. I mean, I probably will not see it. And, it's probably something that, like, I'm going to be seeing on my timeline and, like, any other form of social media out there. They're like, oh, man, I can't wait to see this movie. And, I mean, I've been like that for so many big-time movies that have came out. I think the only one that, like, I actually
Avengers was, at least that was a good movie.
That's it.
And oh my God, it's just, I don't know. At least the name is cool. Age of Extinction. That's a cool name. I mean, it's better than Dark of the Moon. Sounds like a goddamn Pink Floyd album. Yeah. And I don't know. I will eventually watch this movie. I doubt I'll see it in theaters. I don't know. I might see this in theaters and be disappointed on the big screen, or I could wait a year when it's on Netflix and I could be disappointed on the little screen of my laptop. So, whatever. I hope, like I said, I want this movie to be good. I really do. I don't want to have to rant. I don't want to rant on this movie like I did Ghostbusters 2. If I have to, I will. It's just one of those things. I want this movie to be good more than anything. But yeah, nonetheless, I think that's enough for movie news. Moving on to TV news, we really don't have many stories, and this one doesn't affect you at all. I just want to talk about how awesome this is. Archer got renewed for 2 more seasons. There'll be 7 seasons of Archer. That's fucking sick.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that really is just for me. I had to say that, because it's awesome. And now they've revamped the show. It's great.
Yeah, I think you and like
yeah, I don't know many people who watch Archer.
I think
Dolph Ziggler watches Archer. Dolph Ziggler, he seems really into that kind of stuff. So hey, at least, you know what? I can talk to Dolph Ziggler about it. I can just tweet him things about it, and he cannot respond to me. And then another one. This one is actually really relevant because we reviewed this movie on the actual podcast a couple weeks ago. But wait, this is TV news. Why are we talking about a movie? It's because, okay, so on FX, I've been seeing these little promo things, and it's like, it'll show the snow, and you'll see a little nose, and it'll say Fargo. And I'm like, holy fuck, they're going to show Fargo on FX. That's fucking sick. Then I looked it up finally, and Fargo is going to be a miniseries on FX, which FX is my favorite channel. It's not HBO or Showtime. And the whole deal they're doing here is they're doing a 10-part miniseries. It's, like this, if you watch Spoils of Babylon this year, that's what it's going to be like. It's, just going to be 10 episodes, that's it. No season 2. And it's going to be Fargo. It's going to be filled, it's going to be recast, there's going to be new people. 10 episodes and on FX in April. Like, it debuts like April 20th or some shit like that. And April is a huge month for TV. The final season of Mad Men comes back, which begins. And I really need to get Mad Men season 6 because I'm not caught up. And Game of Thrones can do my stuff. And gee, what is this? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't get FX, so
yeah. Plus, you thought Fargo. I mean, you weren't like. I know you liked Fargo, but it wasn't like your favorite movie ever.
No. I mean, it probably wouldn't even make my.
It's somewhere in my top 50, somewhere, I don't know. But like the thing with me is the cast for this movie is Billy Bob Thornton's gonna be in it. That could be interesting. Bob Odenkirk, who is Saul Goodman on Breaking Bad, and Mr. Show is gonna be on this. That's great. And then Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis on Sunny in Philadelphia, is gonna be in it. So, this cast is really interesting. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know, Saul Goodman being in it is enough to sell me.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, like you said, like Jamie, if you had the chance, would you watch it just because of Saul Goodman?
Probably. Maybe. I mean, like, if I had, like, access to it, I would check it out. But But yeah, until then, it's probably going to be another. It's more than likely it's going to be one of those things where
Yeah,
I'm just going to
I
end up
mean, I'm
forgetting
looking forward
about
to
it.
watching it, but like once it's over, I'm probably not going to remember it unless it's like really good. Which hopefully it is. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Anything based off something the Coen brothers wrote should be good. I can't see any reason it wouldn't be. And basically, that's all we've really got for TV news. I think I had some other TV news I cut out that I didn't really care about. Total Divas is back. You know, yeah,
Yes, it's
I might
coming
watch it.
Sunday night. Which which I need to stop lying to myself. I'm going to watch it. I mean, I told myself I wouldn't watch the first season, and I did. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna get
Well,
some
I see
flack for that,
lots of
but you
guys
know
on
what?
Twitter
I
enjoyed
liked
it.
it. I thought that. Oh yeah, I mean, like I thought that it was actually pretty good, and I'm more than likely going to be
Yeah,
watching this.
it was really just like I said. I think I tweeted something about like I had no interest in this, but then I saw the trailer and I said, "Am I actually going to watch this now?" God damn it! Like I think I'm going to, and if I remember to set my DVR, I probably will. Like I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I mean, as long as that fucking Ariane or Cameron diva bitch, who's the worst diva ever, she's so fucking terrible. As long as she's in as little as possible, it'll be enjoyable.
Well, I imagine that she's going to be, on it pretty frequently
Yeah,
since she
she's
is one of the stars. But Summer Rae is on, or
yeah. Summer Rae is there.
on
That's
there now as well.
cool. I like Summer Rae.
So
She's awesome.
yeah, JoJo. I'm not
Is she
exactly
not on
sure where
this? Has she not
JoJo
been
is. I mean,
advertised for
like
this season at
either.
all?
Um, no, she was actually replaced by
What the fuck? What the fuck happened to JoJo?
Ray.
Jesus.
I really don't know, but I think that she's still training down at the
You know what? Yeah,
performance center.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, hey, I remember when people gave Gabriel shit on Twitter because of
Yeah,
something that was fucking a show.
it was part of the show. It wasn't. It didn't. I mean, people. It was part of the show. I mean, like I know it's been like what 8 months since that happened. 8 or 7 months
And
since
one
that
thing too is,
happened.
I guess Randy Orton is
But
the only person who follows her on Twitter, so people are like Joe Jordan fucking shippers, which is weird.
uh,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's
I think he did
following
it
her
as a joke to
incorrectly.
troll people.
Yeah,
Anyway,
possibly. Who knows?
then video game news. Literally, there is no video game news. It is the same exact video game news we had last week, and it's about Batman Arkham Knight. Basically, the only information is last week I remember saying I was not sure if it was still a prequel or if it was a sequel. This takes place a year after Arkham City. So that's all the information I have, and I'm looking forward to it, as long as the Joker isn't behind it all. And now, this is a spoiler if you have not played Arkham City. I want them to keep Joker dead. As much as I love Joker, keep him dead. There's no need to bring him back for this and be like, oh, it's him all along, because that would just ruin this is the end of this series. So there's no fucking point in keep the Scarecrow and the people you've shown. Having Harley Quinn in it, trying to get revenge for Joker is gonna happen from what I've seen, and that's fine. Just keep Joker away from it. No, as much as I love the Joker, I get he's like one of the most iconic villains ever, but there's no place for him in this game at all. So hopefully they're not thinking to have some ending where the Joker's like, it was me, Batman. It was me all along.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like again, it's probably. I mean, like it's a game that I'm probably not gonna bother playing.
I'm going to, just because it's the end of the series. Like, I didn't play Origins, and I probably never will. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Arkham City. But nonetheless, or Arkham Knight. I keep calling Arkham Knight Arkham City.
Yeah.
Arkham City is a good title, but whatever. I think, honestly, wow, we really blew through that fucking news. We didn't have very much this week.
Yeah. Apparently, this is really light news for me. Apparently, the third
So you actually
episode
found
of
out
the
when it comes
Walking
out?
Dead game comes out in May. Yeah, I think I found out about it on Twitter. Someone posted about it, but yeah. So I'm not sure when in May, but it's going to be in May. So that one I'm pretty psyched about. The way that the last one went and how that one concluded. I'm pretty pumped up for this one and how it's going to play out. So yeah, so that's really all the news I have.
Yeah, it's like I said, I still need to check out the Walking Dead game, but once the Wi-Fi issues on my PS3 are fixed, I will.
Oh, it's so good.
Like I said, man. But one thing I will say about Telltale is I cannot fucking wait for their Game of Thrones game. That's probably gonna come out in like a year. I'm so pumped for that game because I love me some Game of Thrones, and Telltale making it is gonna be amazing.
That one I'll most likely check out because like for me, it's like I don't. It's like I don't
Yeah,
watch
like
the
with
shows,
Walking Dead, like the show, which I don't either. I don't like the show. Neither of us really like the show, and you love. I have a game like one of your favorite games ever, and stuff. But you don't watch the show, and then with Game of Thrones, you know what? Yeah, definitely check out the game even if you don't watch the show. Which I'm going to do because if I still need to play Walking Dead, I need to check out Little Nest. Like shit, I need to check that one out. That looks great. And then,
that one was actually I think it was recommended to me by someone I follow, and that one I'll check out when I get the chance to. But yeah, that one.
Yeah, like I said, and then Telltale, like they're one of the biggest game developers right now. Like everyone is on the edge of their seat for what they're going to do next, and there's also rumors that they're going to be making the Sons of Anarchy game that creator Kurt Sutter has confirmed. And I think this is an Anarchy game. I'm sure Jamie will play it because it's another show. He doesn't watch the show, but fuck, he will play the game.
Exactly. And you know what? Apparently, they are also going to be handling.
If anything is going to get me into Borderlands, it's that.
Oh yeah. I played the first two, so, and if it's made by the same people that made the Walking Dead game, I'm pretty sure it's in.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I need to get the Wi-Fi issues fixed on my PS3 though. But yeah, there's all that. And then before we go into the top 5 and discuss Raw, we're in the wrestling section now. Really, really quickly, I just want to touch on the subject that Zyder made a new show. If you remember, he used to do Z True Long Island Story. He eventually gave the rights to it, and then fucked that over, and Zack Ryder, got no longer over. He's actually pretty buried, and I can use that term because Ryder is buried. He used to be almost the most over guy in the company at one point. And it was insane. And now he's doing this last resort thing. If you watched it, it was 2 minutes of, on his own YouTube channel of him saying, hey, you know what? This is my last resort. I am going, he even said I could have, retired tomorrow, hung up my boots, and said, "Hey, you had a good run." But no, and he's basically having the attitude of, if I don't fucking succeed and get to where I want to be in this business, it's not like I didn't try my hardest. That's basically the attitude he's putting on.
Yeah, which is great because now, at least if he's going down, he's going down swinging at least. Because, it was the show that got him over.
Yeah, the show made me a fan of him.
And people can say all they want, saying, "Oh man, I've always liked Ryder." No, you didn't.
I will honestly say I didn't give 2 shits about him until he started the show.
Okay. I did not care until people began tweeting about this, posted about this, saying, "Oh man, Ryder's trying to, get famous or get over or whatever," and so I checked out his show, and he has a sense of humor. It
was entertaining.
He's talented. Yeah, and you know what? This time he's trying, and I think he's learned his mistake. Don't give it to anybody. Doesn't matter who. Don't give it to WWE again. don't give it to, somebody else. Just keep it your own. Because when he gave it to WWE, that messed it up.
Yeah, exactly. They would cut out like he used to do these amazing jokes where he'd be climbing over a fence and he's like, I can't get over. Or Big O pushed him. He's like, nobody pushes Zack Ryder.
And then yeah. I mean, just like little insider terms, and it was so funny. Now this one, it looks just a little bit more serious. I mean, it might be comical like his last show, but I think it's going to be a little bit more serious because his first one, I mean, he looked bound and determined to do something with it.
Yeah, exactly. There is so much he can. I honestly think it's going to work out for him. Now I'm not saying he's going to become WWE champion. I think that the fans are going to hop onto him again.
Yes, and at least he's making.
Yeah, because he's not. I mean, they haven't used him in about 2 years. They've done nothing with him. So you know what? He's really working his ass off.
The last time he tried, the last time that they really did anything with him was when the Authority was kicking off Raw every single week, and they had all the superstars on stage, and he was on there. So yeah, that was the last time he was actually used.
I mean, Zack Ryder, I've never seen him as a main event guy, but I've always thought he's a guy. I think that he could be a great if properly used, he could be a good upper mid carder.
He would be. I mean, his last show got him up to the U.S. title. This one, of course, I don't think it's going to push him all the way up to being world champion, but there's a chance he could become mid card champion again.
Yeah, he could be Intercontinental or United States champion.
Yep. Or whatever mid-card title that they're going to have. Well, I mean, it looks like that they're not going to be merging the titles at Mania, which...
Yeah, definitely do not merge them. Or at least not now. In the next couple of years, yes, but not right now. Other than that, there's not much really left to say about that. Then this week's top 5, before we do a top 5 every single week, which could be wrestling, or mostly wrestling related, but it could be other stuff related. And this week's top 5 is the top 5 I during the show, and I actually said on the show, and that is top 5 NXT stars that would thrive on the main roster. And yeah, like I said, it is just a great top 5 I had an idea for while watching NXT, while we were reviewing NXT Arrival. So Jamie, why don't you go first with your top 5?
You know what, Caleb? I'm demanding that you go first this time. I'm tired of going first.
Bitch.
I demand you go first, Caleb.
Okay, number 5, Adrian Neville. Now, I don't see Adrian Neville as a future world champion. He can't talk worth shit, and I don't know. I mean, he's a cool guy. I enjoy him and whatnot. I think he's a talented dude. I could see him being Intercontinental or United States champion at most. Maybe tag team champion. He's the only 2-time tag team champion in NXT, holding him with Corey Graves, who I don't give a shit about, and Oliver Gray. Oliver Gray, who, he's cool. I like him. He's a good guy. He's been injured for 6 months, but whatever. He's a good guy. And like I said, I'm really actually, looking forward. I think Adrian Neville could do a good job on the main roster. Everything involved with it is just like I said, Adrian Neville, lots of potential. Not main event worthy, I don't think, but the dude could definitely go places. At least in my mind. Like I said, I could see him being the guy who gets a world title match every once in a while, but never actually wins it, and is definitely multiple-time mid-card champion. I'm not saying he's going to become Kofi Kingston, but I could definitely see him holding mid-card titles a couple times. Number 4 on this list is The Ascension. Now, The Ascension are the best tag team NXT has. Almost the only tag team NXT has. And really, it's just one of those things where I could definitely see them, being brought on the main roster. And they're the kind of guys who I could see really dominating. I mean, the tag team division is diminishing. The Shield are breaking up. The Real Americans are breaking up. Los Matadores are a joke. And like I said, I think the Ascension is the answer to what the tag team division needs with two of their tag teams breaking up. And with the Primetime Players who just broke up. And like I said, there are just too many. And then not only that, tons of Funk broke up like in December. And so many tag teams are like diminishing and everything. They really need an answer to the tag team division. And that is the Ascension. I think they're both great, talented guys. And I think that they put on a hell of a show. So, I think they could definitely work in the WWE. Or, well, on the main roster. They're already working for WWE. Number 3, who I don't know why I put her so high on this list. And not her. Who could I be talking about? Could I be talking about the NXT Women's Champion, Paige? I'm not. I'm talking about Bayley. I don't give a shit. Jamie has interesting opinion about Bayley that made me laugh a few months ago. And the thing with Bayley is she's a female Eugene. I like female Eugene. Bayley is really cute and whatnot, and I like her, and I think she could be a great... I don't like comedy gimmicks, but fuck, she could be a great comedy gimmick. That'd be fantastic. So you know what? Go for it. I think she would be fun, and I think it would be interesting, and, all that shit. I don't know. I think it would be cool. See her on the main roster. I think it'd be entertaining. One thing I will also say is, not off topic, I have main event on, live main event, background on silent on my laptop. Holy, Natalya and AJ had a hell of a match for the Divas title. AJ won, of course, but it was a hell of a match. I'm just going to say. Yep. Natalya did have her in the sharpshooter for a good minute, though. I thought she was going to lose.
Yeah.
Then number 2 is a guy who just debuted last week, and Jamie, you know how awesome this guy is, Adam Rose. Holy shit, this dude is awesome. This gimmick is going to work.
Yep. Adam Rose reminds me of
who else has ever gone into the ring on a crowd wave? Now, granted, I think that entrance is not going to... I can't see the entrance happening on Raw, but I think it would be pretty cool. It would be cool for NXT. I just can't see them actually going down that full ramp carrying guys. So that's my only issue with it.
Yeah, definitely I don't see the entrance being like a huge deal, I don't see it happening actually like during Raw because, again, the ramp is much longer than it is on NXT, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Adam Rose, and he's giving all this Snow, which is Russell Brand's character from Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Get Him to the Greek. So I'm down for that. Like, I think it was a good idea based off of that, and I thought it looked fantastic, and I think it could work. The NXT crowd fucking ate him up. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Immediately following that match, the crowd was chanting, that was awesome.
It was just great. I really am high on Adam Rose. And then number 1 is, and main event, having prop comedy where Santino and Emerald are on a date. Santino fucks up the thing and hits his head on the table, whatever. Number 1 on this list is Sami Zayn. I don't know who else would be number 1. Sami Zayn is obvious pick. He's extremely talented. He's uber over. And I think I guarantee you, he is going to be used greatly. No matter how much people... I fucking love how people laughed at Sami Zayn Cesaro match where, and Triple H thinks these two are nobodies. After that match they had an NXT rival, Triple H tweeted a picture saying that was awesome about that match. So you guys are all fucking stupid if you really think that Triple H sees Sami Zayn and Cesaro as nobody. Sami Zayn, I guarantee you, when he's on the main roster, he's going to be a huge babyface. He's going to be so big, I guarantee you. Like, Sami Zayn, it's one of those things where Daniel Bryan is opening up, Punk did a little bit, but Bryan's really opening up that door for extremely, extremely over indie guys, like, who, were really big on the indies. Sami Zayn is a really big indie guy. He was El Generico for years, and now, like I said, I think Sami Zayn, he's one of those over guys in NXT. He's feuding with Corey Graves, which, Corey Graves is so awful. I hate Corey Graves. But, it's just one of those things where, like I said, I think that Daniel Bryan has all the potential oh my god, I just called Sami Zayn Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn has all the potential in the world, and I think he's going to be big, and I think he's going to thrive. I'm not going to be one of those guys who says Sami Zayn needs to come up by WrestleMania or anything like that, because you got to build him up. But whatever, like I said, once he's done feuding with Graves, bring him up. Do that shit. Put the man on the main roster. This year, I think, in next 6 months, I would say. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my top 5. James, what is your top 5?
All right. All right. Now, me took. Now, For me, I'm probably not going to go into detail very much because I don't watch the show all that often, but I did manage to come up with a top 5 anyway. So my number 5 is hype man Mojo
I
Rawley.
believe so.
Is that his name, Mojo, or something like that? Yes. That guy, I think, would make a really good mid-card act. And because, I mean, he is what he is. He's hype man. I mean, he gets the crowd, fired up. And, honestly, I think he could do that in front of 14,000 people on a Raw each week. Because, that guy, I don't know if he's running on fumes or running on Red Bull or something, but that guy's nuts. But, yeah, I think that he would do pretty well on the main roster. Number 4, as much as I didn't want to include him, but I did anyways, Corey Graves.
CM Punk and John Travolta from Greece had a baby, and it was Corey Graves.
Yes, I put Corey Graves on there because as much as I don't like him, as much as he reminds me too much of CM Punk, honestly, I think he's going to be somewhat of a deal on the main roster. I just think it's going to happen, and it's just something that we're just going to have to deal with. So as much as I don't like Corey Graves, he's going to be I don't see him being a huge deal, but he's going to be somewhat of a deal once he hits the main stage. Now, number 3 is the Ascension, and I'm counting both of them for 3. So, yeah. So the Ascension, I can definitely see doing really, really well. And you know what? I actually see them being called up pretty soon, because if you noticed, the Real Americans are not going to stay a team for very long. The Shield are definitely not going to be together very long, so they need tag teams. So I can definitely see the Ascension being called up pretty soon. And I think that they would be really good. And their finisher is pretty sick. Their, combo finisher. Yeah. All right. Now, number 2 is Adrian Neville. Now, do I see Adrian Neville being WWE World Heavyweight Champion? No. But do I see him as being a show stealer? Hell yes. Because that guy has one of the craziest finishers I've seen in a long time. And, I think that he will do really, really well. And, really the only thing I can say about him is that he is definitely going to be the show stealer once he hits the main stage. And number 1...
I knew both of our number 1s would be the same.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, I'm telling you that this guy can go, and you know what? He reminds me a lot of Evan Bourne. minus the drugs. But Sami Zayn is going to be such a huge face. I do not see him being a heel at any point in his tenure. So yeah, definitely Zayn is going to be a huge face once he's on the main.
Jamie, they're showing a graphic for a match at WrestleMania.
That's fascinating.
Well, I'm sorry. I know last night we were talking about how they really need to start showing them, and I was like, oh my god. I'm sorry, you can say. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Okay, anyways, like I said, well, I didn't have much left anyways, but yeah, so Sami Zayn is going to be really good. And you know what? I hope that we can see Cesaro versus Sami Zayn for maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think I said this last week on the show. We're going to see Cesaro versus Sami Zayn for many years to come.
Oh yes, and I'm very.
Yeah, and that concludes the top 5. And now we're finally into our Raw discussion, Raw review. Now, Raw was great this week. It was fantastic. I loved Raw this week, and there was so much great stuff that happened. We opened up the show with Hulk Hogan, brother. he came out and was like, brother, let me tell you something, dude. Man, a 30-man. Oh, and he announced the match I think I'm most excited for at WrestleMania for some reason. And that is the 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and it's got an Andre the Giant trophy. It's so fucking sick. Oh, God. And honestly, I am so... Jamie, yes. I think I even DM'd you and said, I'm way too excited about this. I was like, I'm way too excited about this.
It's a really, really good idea. I mean, since Money in the Bank is, basically, I mean, like, I don't want to say it's never going to be on Mania again, but seeing as how Money in the Bank is its own thing now, it has its own pay-per-view. This is a good way of getting a lot of guys on the WrestleMania card. This is a good way of getting guys featured, and it should be really good because you got 30 guys in there, Battle Royal, and a lot of shit can happen. And really, I think it's really neat that, like they're what's that word I'm looking for? Immortalizing Andre the Giant, like, a lot more because now he has his own Battle Royal. And he won the first ever
WrestleMania Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2. And I've been saying for months that this WrestleMania needs a Battle Royal. Yeah. So I'm happy.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm actually going to make an early prediction and say that Alexander.
You know what? Rusev I would say Alexander Rusev or Mark Henry, because I guarantee you both of those guys are going to be in it. Now the only guys announced for this match so far are Ryback, Curtis Axel, Big E, who should be defending the title at WrestleMania, but unfortunately he's not. Damien Sandow, Kofi Kingston, and didn't they announce like another person today?
Yes, they announced Dolph Ziggler and.
Okay, so Ziggler's been announced. Okay, so hey, Ziggler's beat WrestleMania, so y'all can stop bitching. Yeah. I think Rusev and Mark Henry are my two choices for really. I think Ziggler's the dark horse.
Yeah. Yes, because I mean, like, they haven't. Ziggler hasn't really done much since losing the world title. I mean, like, he had like a series of matches with Sandow for like a month, and then afterwards was, I mean, he was just there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully this leads to Ziggler doing something now.
So. Oh yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, like now that all of these guys, I believe there's 6 spots that are confirmed for the Battle Royal. And I imagine that, like the rest, and like, with weeks to come, more names.
If I can guarantee you names will be in it, Rusev, there's no doubt in my mind Rusev's going to be in it. Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane, Rowan, and Harper, if they are not involved in a big tag team title match. Any team that's not involved in a big tag title match, really. I had another idea. Yeah. I can't. Bad News Barrett would make sense.
Yes, and who's another guy?
Oh yeah, I guarantee. Ryder, honestly, definitely. I would be shocked if Ryder wasn't in it for once.
Yeah, and like there are like some jokes saying that like, oh man, JTG will finally get his big Mania match. JTG
doesn't belong
in
Bound for Glory.
Being in it. Like really, I can't.
Let alone WrestleMania. Fuck, JTG is the most useless guy on the roster. I think JTG is more useless than the Great Khali. If the Great Khali and El Torito out of 8 would still be more... It would still have a bigger point than JTG.
I really hope that Okay. Torito.
Yeah, and Khali is going to be in. They're going to put all the big guys in this match. Now, I don't like the Great Khali, but it makes sense for him to be in this match, honestly. Maybe 3MB. Like I said, there's so many guys who could be in this match. And I think the cool thing about this is it's going to be a 30-minute battle royal with mostly mid-carders, and that's kind of cool. And plus, they're building this. And I don't think this is going to be on the pre-show, just because of what it's for, and because it looks like it's going to be an annual thing, and because they're actually building it. There's builds. People look like they're acting like if you win this match. It's awesome.
Yeah, and like I don't really know. Like, I mean, besides there being the trophy for it, I don't really see like if there's any like big prize that goes along with it, maybe like a future title shot or whatever. But yeah, but like it's a big deal. I mean, like Hogan came out, announced it. It's an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So it's named after one of the most iconic figures in all.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, and okay, I don't think it's gonna be on pre-show. I think it's gonna be the opening match. It makes sense. Yeah. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to this match. It might, for some reason, it's probably gonna be. I'm more excited about this match than I am for Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. Daniel Bryan obviously going to be in the title match after he beats Triple H. Cena, I'm really excited for this match. It's insane how excited I am. And that's basically there. John Cena came out, talked to Hogan for a second. The Wyatts came out. Bray Wyatt cut this amazing promo because Bray Wyatt is fucking awesome. I believe I even tweeted Bray Wyatt is like Kobe Bryant in a hotel room in Colorado. Got a side W jokes. And it just, like I said, Bray Wyatt and John Cena confirmed for WrestleMania. And that was basically that. And Jamie, what are your thoughts on this going into this match?
For Bray Wyatt versus Cena?
Yeah, Bray Wyatt and Cena.
Yeah. Okay. It keeps Cena away from the main event. Now, I have no problem if Cena was in the main event originally, but at least it's something different this year. And at least he's being kept away from the main event. And also, this is a big deal for Bray Wyatt because, it's his first Mania match. It's a big time match against the face of the company. And no, the face is not Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan. It's Cena. So, this is a huge deal for Wyatt. I'm not expecting like a 5-star classic, but I think it should be pretty good. And really,
it's one of those things where I think Bray Wyatt is going to win this match, but it scares me that Cena's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be totally bothered if Cena won. But, like, again, I mean, there really is no reason. If you want to put Wyatt over, like, as far as possible, then have him beat Cena. It doesn't have to be a clean win. You can have Harper and Rowan out there. That's fine. But, like, again, there shouldn't be any real reason why Cena would win. But if he does,
it's one of those things where Bray Wyatt 2 pay-per-views in a row has put on Match of the Night. So I don't think this pay-per-view I doubt will be Cena and Bray Wyatt will be Match of the Night, simply because I think the Triple Threat match has a lot of potential now.
No.
Triple H, it's okay. Granted, it's not confirmed as a Triple Threat match, but I guarantee you it will be. And Triple H and Bryan is going to be great.
Yeah.
And on Taker and Lesnar, as much as I'm scared for Undertaker's health, I think that match could be great.
That one is going to be really good, and it's going to be really interesting to see, how like how.
Oh yeah, hopefully Taker can walk on his own power back to the through the gorilla position.
If he has to be, wheeled out again like he was at 27.
Yep. And plus this is a really random thing, but it kind of does have to do with the show as well. Christian and Sheamus. I just thought of something. I guarantee you Christian and Sheamus are going to be in the Battle Royal.
Yes, and
they did. No matter how much people want to shit on their rivalry, they're putting on consistent good matches.
Mm-hmm. The finish was excellent. I thought the friggin'
awesome.
Kick through the drum there. I thought
it was really like this match was really fantastic.
They could have easily fucked up that spot.
Yeah, it was like, and one thing I thought with the frog splash on 2 chairs, I thought that was it. Okay, this is where I predict this rivalry going with Sheamus and Christian. Sheamus keeps winning, makes sense, and they go into WrestleMania. Christian eliminates Sheamus from the Battle Royal. This sets up for a match at Extreme Rules where Christian finally beats Sheamus. That's where I see this rivalry going.
Yes.
Granted, this rivalry is going to be going on way longer than it should, but still, that's just from what I've seen, that's what I think is going to happen. And then there is Cesaro and Swagger.
Yeah.
They keep getting that tension, and Zeb was like yelling at them, so they're breaking up. And one thing, I was talking to Kyle last night in Skype messages, and he pointed out if the Battle Royal isn't the pre-show, Cesaro and Swagger will be.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
I think both guys deserve to be on the card, no matter what people think of Swagger.
Yeah, but they're the only thing I can really take away from, I guess, like the tension from them last night on Raw was that
Zeb Coulter always makes hilarious facial expressions.
So yeah.
Yeah, and we're moving on from that Undertaker segment where there's supposed to be a big announcement, but there wasn't an announcement.
Yeah, I really don't know where like that whole thing came from. It's like, Taker has this announcement to make, and when I first heard about it, I thought that maybe Taker was going to come out and say something along the lines of, this WrestleMania will be my last one. And just like for some reason I thought that would be it. But ultimately, it was the only announcement that he had was that.
Yeah, pretty much. And Paul Heyman did cut a great promo.
Heyman did, and you know what? His.
Oh yeah, they were. It's very true.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the build-up for Taker and Lesnar is getting really, really good, and I think Taker's actually advertised now for like every Raw leading up to Mania. So I think he's going to be on every Raw for the next 3 Raws. So yeah.
Man, like I said, I think Undertaker and Lesnar is one of the most but next to the Daniel Bryan in the main event title match and Daniel Bryan versus basically the whole Daniel Bryan storyline, because I'm kind of incorporating both of those matches. Next to the Daniel Bryan storyline, I think this is the most well-built match going into WrestleMania.
Daniel Bryan storyline. Okay, last night that whole yes.
Which that's what we're talking about now. That was fantastic.
Was possibly the best segment I've seen.
They did everything right with that segment. Like every single thing they did was just fantastic. They built it. They accomplished so much. They got now the IWC, who last week they said this is going to be the worst WrestleMania of all time, are all of a sudden thinking it's going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Myself included. I don't think it's going to be great. I think this WrestleMania is going to be fantastic. It looks awesome.
This WrestleMania is going to be really good because now, if anything, this week saved WrestleMania 30 from being.
Yeah, because people would have, no matter how much I don't care, people would have shot over Orton and Batista.
Exactly, and I really wouldn't have been excited.
I wasn't, but I had no issue with the match.
To be honest, yeah, but just like the only thing was that a lot of people were saying like, oh, Orton and Batista, like that match makes no sense, and you know what? Now that part I could agree with. It really doesn't make any sense because why would you have heel?
Yeah, exactly.
Heel
especially since they teamed together last night on Raw.
Exactly. So yeah, they so just for some reason I was not thinking that they were ever going to actually go through with Randy Orton versus Batista in the main event of WrestleMania. Like,
at least Punk didn't come back and get added.
And Yes, this is true. But, now, like, that whole Yes movement segment, I saw, before they went to break, they had, like, a bunch of people coming in the ring, and I thought, okay, there's just going to be maybe, like, a dozen a dozen fans in the ring, and, whatever. Then we go back to break. All I see is a sea of gray. And it's a sea of Bryan shirts. They're all around the ring. They're all in the ring. And I was like,
that segment was
crap.
so powerful. The way Triple H and Stephanie were screaming at them, it was fantastic. Everything about it was so fantastic.
Triple H and Stephanie sold that situation so well. They couldn't have done any better. I mean, Stephanie was screaming. That was $1 billion.
It was so great. It was great. Look, that's the best Stephanie's been since coming back, and she's been great since coming back.
Exactly, and you know what? It's been so good. It's been great. That. I mean, now that got me super excited for WrestleMania because Daniel Bryan and Triple H are going to put on a great performance, and if Bryan wins,
there's no doubt in my mind for Daniel Bryan wins that match.
Oh, if Bryan defeats Hunter, goes on to the main event triple threat, Bryan will be winning that match. You see, people, it's all about patience. Now, I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that Bryan is going to win, but
some fans have already started to turn on him before he wins the title, which is a first. Because they've been able to bitch for months that Bryan is being screwed, but now that he's actually gonna, what it looks like, headline WrestleMania in 2 huge matches, now all of a sudden they don't have anything to bitch about, so there's no point in liking him anymore for some fans. Already.
And you know what? They did the same thing during CM Punk's title reign.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
People were beginning to turn on Punk. And you know what? It's funny because a lot of fans, when someone is being buried, quote unquote, and when they use that term and like when they overuse the shit out of that term, and then when and like, you know, when they're buried, quote unquote, they support the crap out of them. And then when it finally looks like there's a sliver of light at the end of the tunnel for them, they begin to turn on them and saying, he's not the guy that I used to like. Something's different. And fans take the product way too seriously. Way too seriously.
Like a lot of wrestling-related podcasts, they go on and they just rant about how Daniel Bryan's being buried, which he never was. Like, I don't know. We don't bitch about the product. If there's something stupid, we'll say it's stupid, but for the most part, we just, like, I take the product for what it is. That's the same reason I've been able to watch TNA for so long. I don't, based off of, oh man, this sucks. I just take TNA for what it is, and I enjoy it. When I get the chance to watch Ring of Honor, I do the same thing. Whenever I get the chance to watch New Japan, I do the same thing. Same thing I do with WWE and TNA on a consistent basis. I don't care how shitty they get. I take it for what it is, I watch it, I take the positives out of it, and I enjoy what I can.
The true guys in the back that are being buried.
Zack Ryder looks like he's starting to. He's trying. Like I think he's already getting out of the hole. He's trying to dig himself out of the hole.
Yeah. The guys that are not on TV every week.
Exactly. Like Ziggler was buried for a bit. I will admit that, but he's not anymore.
Yeah. Nope.
JTG and Kurt Hawkins, Ezekiel Jackson.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Oh, just poor Ezekiel. He won 2 matches, and I don't think he won any in 2013. And 2012, he won 2 matches, and both of them were tag team matches, and neither of them were on television.
Yeah. So, anyways, the entire Yes Movement segment, that was tremendous, great stuff, and WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, like I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a great show. I think I said this to you before we started recording because me and Jamie talk all the fucking time, and you know, especially about Embrace the Hate. That's an inside joke for anyone who doesn't understand that. But basically the whole thing with that is like I said, you know, I think I believe I told it to you. I said I think this WrestleMania is going to blow our mind out of the water, and it'll be the best WrestleMania since 24.
You know what? It's definitely looking like that. And you know what? 30 could blow everybody away. And you know what? I guarantee you, every single person that said that WrestleMania 30 was going to be a train wreck.
And you know what? The only thing that could make this WrestleMania better is if they had done my idea and done the Hulk Hogan Cesaro thing, where they team up against Swagger and Zeb. I loved that idea so much, but now there's no point of it. But now, hey, at least I can say for the last 3 months, I loved that idea, and I never stopped saying.
There you go.
But yeah, like I said, I remember, like I said, I thought my WrestleMania pre-card was, I did a month ago. I liked it. I was right about one match at least, and that was the triple threat, which is going to happen with Brian Punk and Brian Orton and whatnot. And I don't, as far as I know, I didn't predict any other ones correctly, like the tag title match. Okay, well, if you count a battle royal, I did come up with the idea for battle royal, so there's that. But it was gonna be a pre-show one. So you know what? Like I said, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this WrestleMania. I cannot wait, and there's not a match I'm not looking forward to. I can say that.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, I'm really getting. The more I think about it, the more options I think about the people who can be in the Battle Royal, the other matches that could be, because they'll probably add about 3 more matches. I guarantee we're going to get some sort of tag team title match. I don't know if we're getting the Usos and the Outlaws in some sort of street fight, or if we're getting the Usos, Outlaws, Rhodes Brothers, and some other team. That could be like match number 6, match number 7. Swagger and Cesaro. 8 could be the Shield doing something, and I don't know what the other. Honestly, I don't know what the other match. You know what? If I would do that, I would have that be the main card. Is you have the current 5 matches that are announced, and then you add the Shield doing their triple threat match, 4 or 5 team multi-team match of some sort for the tag titles. Have Swagger and Cesaro, and then I don't know what the pre-show would be. I'm lost on what the pre-show would be. If the card happened that.
As for the pre-show,
I think the pre-show is going to be, as much as it pains me to say, I think it's going to end up being Cesaro and Swagger. But like I said, who knows? If they do all 8 of those matches, which those look like the other 3 matches that will be announced in some way, shape, or form. The Shield, no way the Shield or the tag title match are on the pre-show. No way. However, Cesaro and Swagger, I think, could be. And, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just looking forward to this. That's the thing I love about the WrestleMania. It's just unpredictable, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I think I said this to you. I love that fucking Battle Royal. Shit. And then I think with the Shield splitting up, that it's indefinite. I think next Monday is going to be when it happens, and I think the Monday after is when the match is announced. Yeah. This is going to be, this WrestleMania. I'm really looking forward to this WrestleMania. I've been looking forward to this WrestleMania all along. It's just the Battle Royal and Bryan being added to the main event has made it better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. This is great. This is great. Basically, do you have any closing thoughts on Raw?
I thought that it was really good. Definitely, the road to WrestleMania is definitely is heating up big time now, and this week saved WrestleMania 30. I thought it really did.
Yeah, like I said, this match is making people and not only that, it's making people actually excited for the WrestleMania, and I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, because now, there is a chance now that Bryan will be on, or will be in the main event.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be great. I think, you know what? It's going to be cool. Plus, Bryan's going to be great. It's just great. Bryan's going to be champion. It's great. I keep saying great. I don't know why. But Bryan is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, there's no doubt, and like I said, if there's one guarantee I can make at WrestleMania, it's that Bryan's beating Triple H and he's winning the world title. And so, James, before we sign off here, do you have any final thoughts on anything with Raw, anything we talked about?
No, not really. Just that, I'm just really looking forward to seeing how everything will be. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how everything will be, played out over the next few weeks. And now we have three Raws left between now and WrestleMania 30, and Taker is booked for all 3 Raws as far as I know. So I mean, it's going to be great now, and it's so nice seeing people pumped for Mania now, because I saw so many people on my timeline last night looking so excited now. I am pumped for Mania. It's going to be really good. So
yeah, you know what? My closing thoughts could be this. WrestleMania, I was looking forward to it before, but now I'm looking forward to it even more. Everything's great, like I said, a quick rundown of everything we did. Pulp Fiction was fantastic. It's a fantastic movie, no doubt about that. Ghostbusters 2 is a piece of shit, don't watch it. Sami Zayn is going to be a future huge baby. He's a babyface. He's going to be a huge-ass babyface at some point. Like I said, Fargo miniseries looks great. Archer renewed for 2 seasons. Psyched. Arkham Knight, a year after Arkham City, fantastic. Transformers Age of Extinction. Stop making me excited, Michael Bay. This movie's probably going to be shit. Fuck you. Captain America, I have the idea and the angle. Like I said, I can't say it on the show, but if you really, really want to know my idea about the whole Captain America theory, look up who the current Captain America is, and look up at who everything that person has been, and who that person was and has been, and you will completely understand why I think that, and just everything about it, and why I think it'll tie in. I'm not going to drag this ending on like I did last week, folks. It took me 7 minutes to say goodbye. Then quick rundown. Raw, fantastic. WrestleMania is going to be awesome. No doubt about that. Equals 3 is coming to an end. Yep. Great run. Good luck with all your future endeavors, Ray William Johnson. Last resort. Good luck, Zack Ryder, trying to get over again. Man, long overdue. So you know what? That's basically my closing thoughts. And before we close, our plugs. How could I forget the precious, precious plugs? James, your plugs first.
Oh yes, so much. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Jamie Lee Mack, and also sub to my sub to my own personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jamie Lee Mack. I don't upload as much as I did before, but I can still post every once in a while. So yeah, and go and check that out. And also sub to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/EVTV Production. We have like a plethora of stuff on here. Wrestling with Mac, which I do alongside Kyle, and C&C Reviews is on here, and Caleb is going to be posting a bunch of shit on here, so watch out for that. And yeah,
you can of course follow me on Twitter at @TheAwesomeClark, and that's Awesome Clark. I think it sounded like I said clerk, whatever. My name is stupid. My @name is horrible. It's one of those things where, this week I will be posting my True Detective Season 1 review. Update on that. I have found the pictures that are going to play. I have not recorded it. I know what I want to say and everything. I loved the finale. That's all I'm going to say. And that should be up Friday or Saturday. Should be recording that at some point tonight and sending the audio to Kyle to work with that, work his audio magic, and it'll be up by this weekend. So he loves True Detective. It's going to be great. And even if you haven't watched True Detective, until I go to spoilers territory, listen to it. It's going to be good. And basically, that's just an upcoming thing. Of course, update on whenever my top 5 best, top 3 worst, and that whole series where, starting in 1995 with WWE, every single year, I will watch the entire year and I will see top 5 best pay-per-views, top 3 worst, top 10 best pay-per-view matches, top 10 worst. Basically, that's 3 separate videos right there. I am at Survivor Series 1988. I have not had the chance to finish it. 2 days in a row I haven't been able to watch. But like I said, tonight I'm going to be finishing it, and so in the next, I would say about a month, it'll probably be a month before I can, get into that series. But like I said, it's coming. James, thank you so much for blessing me with letting me use that. Giving me your blessing to use your old series. And it is one of those things, guys, like I said, listen to Wrestling with Mac. We've got so much great content for you. We were going to record a topic video this week, but that never happened. I don't know. It probably won't happen, but whatever. If it does, hey, cool. But like I said, I'm not going to drag this on like I did last time. We had a lot of great stuff for you guys. Press that like button. You can subscribe. Leave a comment down below on future top 5s you want to talk about, future movies you want to talk about. You want me to watch a show and review it, as long as it isn't going to take up a massive amount of my time. I'm trying to watch American Horror Story Asylum, which I never watched. Slowly watching Haven. I need to catch up on these shows that I want to watch before I watch other shows that you want me to watch. So please leave me a comment, and I'll put it on my shit to watch list. And, that'll happen. Leave a comment for anything you want us to talk about, any movie news, any subjects, any future top 5s, which can be anything we haven't already done in the past, which basically any movie, we've done all wrestling stuff, but yeah, I'm not going to drag this on, and I've said that about 5 times. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I am Caleb, that is Jamie, and this was C&C Reviews. Hope you all enjoyed it. Give me your feedback and whatnot. Goodbye. Hope you all enjoyed it. And that's all tonight. Goodbye.